It's Juan Luis Antonio Paula here joining us on the pregame show. We usually just call you Luis Paula. Joining us here on the Firebirds Extra pregame show. Kevin Fitzgerald here with you. And Louis, this is your first season up in the Cape. You pitched the last couple of years down at UNC. You were a guy who pitched in the Coastal Plains League a year ago. Let's just talk about for a moment what it's like to get up to the Cape. What's it been like going up against some of the top competition throughout all over the country, getting the experience to come up here and play this summer? How's it been so far?
It's been quite an experience. I was really looking forward to coming up here since I didn't really pitch much this past season. And last summer I had a good summer, so I was looking forward to facing some better talent to see how I would, do against these guys. And so far it's been pretty good. I'm feeling really good up here, and I'm enjoying it. It's really fun up here.
And as a UNC guy, you're with your teammate Trevor Kelly, the side armor. This past year, UNC went to the College World Series. You guys made it to a super regional. And what is that like that you get to come up here and have a guy like Trevor Kelly, who was just pitching down in the College World Series, to have him next to you while you're up here during your Cape season? What's it like getting to pitch with another right-hander up here for Orleans?
It's pretty fun. Me and Trevor get along pretty well. We lived together my freshman year in summer school. That's where I first met him. And we've been pretty good friends ever since. And it's really fun to play with a teammate because, you come up here not knowing anybody else, so it's kind of good to know at least one person.
Absolutely.
And but I've gotten along with everybody else, so, it's pretty good. I think me and Trevor up here is a good thing.
I've got to ask you because there's so many of you guys from so many different schools, with the SEC, the Pac-12, the ACC. Do you have maybe one pitcher that you work a lot with, or do you kind of who's the one pitcher on this team that you've worked a lot with and then maybe tried to take a little bit of their game or take elements of their game or rituals or routines? How much give and take do you guys have?
Well, I've been really working with Corey Miller because we room together up here, me, him, and Austin Davidson. And since he's been drafted already, I thought it's pretty cool. And, he's already been through this whole process. So he's given me quite a few, tips and everything just because he's an older guy. And I usually try to work with him, but I've been, jumped around throwing with everybody else. You don't really want to focus on just one person. But I've learned a little bit from everybody up here because, everybody up here is really good. So everybody can teach somebody a little something. So.
What's the one thing that you really want to focus on and work on specifically about your game this summer, whether it's developing a certain pitch, working just get innings under your belt? Like you said, you didn't pitch as many innings as you would have hoped for down at UNC. So what is the one thing you want to focus on your game specifically while you're up here for a couple months?
A lot to do with command. I've struggled with my command in the past, and I really want to work on, throwing more strikes. I'm developing a changeup that I've been working on, and also a slider. So I've been working on those two pitches, but for the most part, it's just throwing strikes and just having some confidence up there.
It's Luis Paula here joining us on the Firebirds Extra pregame show. Kevin Fitzgerald here with you. And Louis, you're a North Carolina guy. You play at UNC like I mentioned before. You were recruited as a shortstop out of high school to go play at UNC. You turned into a pitcher. You were kind of a little guy throughout high school, then shot up, and now you're about 6'3", 6'4". What was that transition like, playing in the infield really throughout all your high school career, and then transitioning to the mound as a hard thrower?
It was tough at first because, growing up, I've always pictured myself being the shortstop for the Yankees, taking Derek Jeter's spot one day. But, I think it worked well for me. I struggled with mechanics, throughout the whole process, and I'm still learning how to pitch. And I think I'm doing pretty well for myself. I've always wanted to be an infielder, though, a shortstop. But pitching gets you through the major leagues pretty quick, so hopefully that'll work out for me.
Right. Hopefully it's a smooth transition, like you were mentioning. It's Luis Paula here joining us on the Firebirds Extra pregame show. So how about that for a second? You said, well, Derek Jeter, the idol, you want to take his spot for the Yankees. Who's a right-handed pitcher in the majors right now who you try and emulate their game out in the rubber while you're pitching?
That's tough. See, I don't really know. I don't really have a favorite pitcher yet, but I like to watch Verlander throw just because he's a guy that throws really hard, and he can throw the whole game, and he gets progressively better throughout the whole game. And he's got a really good curveball, which I think I have a decent curveball. So I guess I'm trying to work my game off his and just, try to overpower people with the fastball and then, curveball and add in mix in a few changeups and sliders here and there. So I think probably Justin Verlander.
So if you are a Yankee fan from North Carolina, mind you, how'd you become a Yankee fan down there in the UNC territory?
I always grew up a Yankees fan. My family, diehard Yankees. My dad and grandpa, they were always Yankees fans, so I grew up on that. So there's no team in North Carolina either, so you had to pick one. So I chose the Yankees.
And like you said, it's a good team to pick, you know what I mean? So, and like you said, you have some family in New York City, so always good to, when you visit the family, go catch a Yankee game as well. This is Luis Paula here joining us on the Firebirds Extra pregame show. And, Luis, we'll finish up on this. We already mentioned you just finished up your sophomore season down at UNC. Going forward, the goal for this upcoming year, while you're down in your Tar Heels uniform next spring, what is the one thing you want to improve upon when you get back to school this upcoming year for your junior season?
Probably more like the mental part of the game. Work on my confidence and, being smart with baseball and pitching, not just going out there and throwing just to throw, to actually know what I'm going to do with the hitters. So I think, I'm going to try to work really hard on the mental aspect of it.
You can catch him down in that UNC Tar Heel jersey this upcoming spring. It's Luis Paula here joining us on the Firebirds Extra pregame show. And Luis, as always, thanks for stopping by. Good luck today.
Thank you.